Hello, welcome to another episode of Wicked Easy Cooking. My name is Chef Colin Roach, and today I'm being assisted by my youngest son, Finnegan. Can you say hi?
Hi, everybody.
Today's episode is all about udon noodles. Ooh, can you say ooh? Ooh. Udon noodles. In a previous show, Finn and I made homemade fresh udon noodles, so hopefully you've checked that out. But no worries, today's recipes can be used with homemade noodles or store-bought, so I'll give you the options to use either one. But today we have great recipes for you. The first one's more of a soup, udon noodles in a soup. Classically, udon noodles in the summertime are served cold, and in the winter they're served hot. And one of the great ways to utilize them is in a soup form. So we're going to do that one. All right, so you ready to get cooking?
Yeah, let's get started.
All right. Okay, so our first recipe is udon noodles in a ginger broth. Yummy. Now, as I mentioned, you can make this with homemade udon noodles or pre-packaged dried ones that you get. Not as good, but they are much more convenient. So we're going to be working with our homemade ones that we made in a previous video. Hopefully you've watched that. Can you grab one of those pans of those homemade noodles, Finn? Yeah. All right. So you can see these noodles, and what happens, we've already blanched them in the hot water for 8 minutes or so, cooked them, and then we shocked them in ice water. And after that, you just put them out on a sheet tray and they'll hold. And as I mentioned in the other video, at this point you could freeze them just like this. And once they're frozen, pick them up in bunches and put those into, sandwich bags, freezer bags, label them. And then when you need a portion, you just take out the one bag or, maybe 2-3 portions in a bag, and you just dump those right into these various recipes. So if you're using homemade noodles, and I'll put this in the recipe, I'm assuming they're already cooked. So we don't have to drop those into water. We can just add them right into our stir fries and they will heat up that way. Or if you needed to, I do have water on here I'm going to show, and you could just put those into some type of strainer just to reheat them quickly and then throw them into your dish. So either way. Now, if you're going to use the dried ones that you bought at the store, follow the manufacturer's directions for that. They'll probably have you cook it for 10 minutes, then take it out and maybe mix it with some sesame oil or something like that and then use it in the dish. So depending on which one you're using will depend on this first step in the recipe, what you do. Okay, so next we're going to take our medium pan here and we're going to start our broth, our soup in here. So I'm just going to put this out of the way for now. Finnegan's going to help me. So first we have this pan. I'm going to turn on the heat. And over here we have a combination of vegetable oil, and we also have some sesame oil. And this is toasted sesame oil. Smell that.
Oh.
Smell good?
Yeah.
So it's been toasted, so it's going to give it a really good, foundation into our soup or our broth. So this is a combination in here. And this recipe I put in here makes 4 servings. You want to pour it in that part? Okay. Makes 4 servings. Go ahead.
Of it?
Yeah, all of it. But feel free to cut it in half, double it, whatever you need to do depending on your situation, how many people you're going to be serving in there. So we're going to put that over our medium heat here, which I've already turned on. And then we're going to start adding our ingredients. And as you'll see here, we have ginger. You can smell these. Ginger. I'm going to leave them in order of use. We can explain them. Ginger. Then we have some onions or scallions thinly sliced. And then we're going to use mushrooms. Now in here you want 6 to 8 mushrooms. You can use common mushrooms, wild mushrooms, shiitakes, just take the stems off. Here I've used baby portobellos. So any type of mushroom that you can find that you want to use. Okay, we're going to cook all that up, get it sweated down. And then after that we're going to put in our chicken stock. So we have chicken stock here, about 2 cups. Homemade would be the best, but if not, buy some canned broth, canned, stock if you need to. That's going to be our soup. Then we're going to put in a little rice wine vinegar. It's going to provide a little bit of acid in there as well. And then we're going to put in some soy sauce. I like to use tamari soy sauce, Japanese soy sauce. I think it's a little bit nicer flavor, but use whatever soy sauce you want, low sodium. Again, any of this is versatile. And then we're going to put in our garnishes, which we have some spinach here, picked off don't want any stems in it. And then I just shredded them up, into little slices here. Again, you want those to be able to fit on a spoon when we're finished. And then we're going to add in some chopped scallions, and lastly, some salt and pepper if needed. So let's get this started. So we put in our ginger and our onions. Let's get that started first. That one we can put right there. Okay, we'll stir these around. Hold on, I'll let you see in just a second here. Okay, and then we're going to add in our mushrooms.
This one fell out, so can I have it?
Sure. Okay, we've got this on our medium heat. We're just going to sweat this. Let the mushrooms reduce their liquid. Okay, and start to break down a little bit. Get fragrant, again, building that foundation of our soup. Maybe a couple minutes here. We got a couple minutes. We got to let those mushrooms cook. Can you hear them?
Yep.
They're starting to sizzle. What's happening is that onion's going to break down. It's going to release a lot of its juice and water. The ginger is going to get really fragrant, and the mushrooms are going to collapse a little bit. We don't want to add our stock just yet, but I'm going to have you do that in 2 minutes. All right? Okay, so our mushrooms have been cooking about 2 minutes. Can you get a little smell in there? Smell that? Okay, they're about golden brown. You can see that with the camera. So they kind of broke down and released their juices. Now, if you just pour that chicken stock in there slowly, right into the middle, and I'm going to stir. Good, good, good. All right, put it all in. Keep going. Okay, now we'll put this back on the heat. Whoops, got a little splash there. And we'll let that come up to a boil. Okay, so we've added in our chicken stock, brought it up to temperature. Now we can add in, it says here in our recipe, our rice wine vinegar and our soy sauce. So we have 1 teaspoon of this. Hold on. This one here. And I'm going to put out the teaspoon and you pour it in. Right? You hold it over that. Hold the spoon. I'm going to pour it on the spoon and you drop it in. Put it right over the pan. Okay, drop that in. All right. And now we have 2 teaspoons of our soy sauce. All right, same spoon. 1, pour it in. And 2. All right, now just take this spoon like this and hit it on the side to make sure there's no drops in it. Now you can stir that up. Be careful, the pan's hot. Good, let me put that back on the heat. Okay, these are going to cook for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to add in our spinach and our scallions and check for seasoning. Be right back. Okay, the chicken stock's in here along with the rice wine vinegar and the soy sauce and the mushrooms, and it's been cooking about 5 minutes. The mushrooms have collapsed a little bit. So now we can go on to our next step of adding the spinach and scallions. But I'm just going to give it a little taste just to see how our broth is. Ooh, that's good. So let's add in this, the spinach. When you grab that little one, and pour that in. Great. And we're just going to put this on. This doesn't take very long because, as you know, spinach is really soft. So as soon as it hits that hot broth, it's going to start to collapse and make a pretty soup. It's going to add in all those nice green colors. Now, we don't want to leave it in too long because then it will kind of turn that army man green. It won't look very good. So now we're going to put this back on the heat just for a minute. All right, and here's our bowl. Okay, and this is going to be a spoon for you to taste it and a fork to eat some noodles. Now, since our noodles are already pre-cooked, we just need to put into our bowl. These are kind of long too. Hold on. Got it? All right. How many noodles we think we should have? We're going to share, so we'll put that much in. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now put this back over here. Now we can put our soup in. Daddy's just going to give it one more little taste. I think you could use a little salt and pepper. You just take a little teeny pinch of that salt. Small pinch. Good. Drop it in there. Good. Okay. We'll put those back over there. And now we are ready to try this soup. So I have a ladle here. We're going to pour it right over our noodles, heating them up as it goes. So you see all that spinach in there? We got our mushrooms, get some more broth. This is for 2 here now, so we're sharing. Hold on. I'm going to show it to the camera. See, can you see that? You don't want to tip it too much there. Great. All right, we'll take this spoon of yours. I'm just going to give it a stir. Get those noodles nice and heated up. Now, you know the trick to eating noodles?
Yeah.
What? You don't. Well, you don't want to eat it out here because they're going to drip all over your coat. So you want to get in close. But here, let's try this broth. Make sure it's not too hot. All right, here you go. Ready? I'm going to blow on it. Take a sip.
It's good.
It's good? Now, let's try a noodle that we worked so hard on. I'm going to try it first. That's good. Ooh. Now you gotta lean in, I'll catch it. Are they good? All right. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Say bye.